Hello and welcome. My name is Ivan and this is my presentation regarding the issue at hand, which is where and when to allocate medical staff for the upcoming 2018 influenza season in the United States. So the US has an influenza season that, from a quick glance at our graph over here, we can clearly see that since 2009 to 2017, we have a very slow but also steady increase in the total death count. In order to fully commit to the task and derive the most meaningful and effective insights, we will need to answer a couple of questions. First, who is in danger of the flu virus? Second, when does the flu occur? And third, where does the flu occur? In regards to our first question, the bar chart below gives us a clear answer. We can see that the age groups of people aged 65 and above suffer the most. They significantly prevail over the age group of 65 years and below. This conclusion is backed up by the definition of what is included in the vulnerable people category, which is exactly people over the age of 65. To answer the second question of when does the flu season occur, we can focus our attention onto this timeline over here, which tells us that the majority of influenza-related deaths begin to happen in October. They spike during the month of January, and they begin to fade away during the month of April. To further show the difference in vulnerability, we've got this pie chart below that shows us the amount of total deaths involving people above 65 significantly prevailing over people below the age of 65. So we've answered who is at risk and when the flu happens. One last thing we need to find out before we can be sure of our decision is to find out where is influenza's biggest impact. And to do this, I've created this so-called choropleth map, which shows in blue shading where do we have the most deaths. In light blue, we see the minimal amount, and in dark blue, we see a big amount of total deaths. Relative to that, we've got these bubbles that correspond the amount of deaths for the age group of people above 65. The bigger the bubble size is, the bigger the amount of deaths. Below this map, I've made a bar chart that shows the states and the total amount of deaths. The orange color, which also occupies more space in the bars, is related to the deaths of people aged 65 and above, and the blue color signifies deaths for people aged 65 and below. I've done this so that we can see the relationship that the different age groups experience in their respective state. We can clearly see that California, New York, and Texas occupy the majority of total death count. And we also can see that the death count for people aged 65 and up is present in every state and it also is prevailing over the age of 65 years and below. In conclusion, the influenza season occurs during the cold months, which are from October to April. The most vulnerable population is people above the age of 65 years old, and the states that are in desperate need of support are California, New York, and Texas. They are followed by Pennsylvania, Florida, and Illinois. My recommendations based on this information are to allocate medical staff primarily to the states of California, New York, and Texas, and if possible to allocate also to Pennsylvania, Florida, and Illinois. All of this should happen during the months of October to April, with a major focus for the month of January. As regards to next steps, we could definitely examine flu shots data to try and find a solution to mitigate the rising death count before the season even begins. We should also collect follow-up data after the 2018 flu season has passed in order to determine the effectiveness of our project, which is very important. This concludes my presentation of the upcoming 2018 influenza season. Thank you very much for your attention.